Why does it feel like the people that you want to love you the most are the ones who make you feel the most unwanted? You give, you sacrifice, you try to be the absolute best for them, paying attention to every single detail. But somehow, it's never enough. Instead of your love bringing you closer together, every time you reach for them, they pull away. And the worst part is the harder you try, the worse things seem to get. I know this pain because I lived it on repeat for almost 2 decades. 2 decades of chasing love that never stayed. 2 decades of waiting to be chosen while feeling completely invisible. 2 decades of questioning, why am I never enough? But here's the scary part. If I hadn't have figured this out, I'd still be stuck in that same cycle today, wasting years of my life on people who never truly saw me. And if you don't figure it out, you'll get stuck there too. Because this isn't just about heartbreak, it's about who you are in this process. The longer you chase love that won't stay, the more of yourself you will lose. Worst of all, the longer you stay in this cycle, the harder it becomes to escape. Until one day you wake up and realize you spent years begging for people to love you from people who are never capable of giving it to you. And at that point, it's not just painful, it's absolutely devastating. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what that brutal truth is, the truth that completely changed the course of love for me, and how you can use it in your own life before it's too late. Does this sound familiar to you? You meet someone, you feel a connection, and for a while, things seem to be going really well. It feels amazing, but then something shifts. They start to pull away. They stop texting you back. They become more distant. And what do? You try harder. You overthink. You replay conversations in your head, wondering what you did or said wrong. You give even more of yourself, hoping they'll see your worth and stay, but instead they seem to care less and less. And eventually they leave. You're left asking yourself the same painful question. Why am I never enough? And here's the part that no one tells you. If you don't understand why this keeps happening, you'll stay trapped in this cycle forever. Now let me show you what's really happening. Now these aren't just 2 glasses of water, they represent something much deeper. Us, you and me, and how we show up in love. This is somebody who already feels loved, not just by their partner, but by others, and most importantly, by themselves. As you can see, their cup is full. But this is somebody who feels unloved, unworthy, and emotionally drained. Their water level is already really low. They need love from the relationship because they don't have enough of it for themselves. And this bowl is going to represent the relationship. Now, a relationship is supposed to be a place where love flows both ways, where both people pour into it and then the relationship pours back into them. But here's the problem. That doesn't always happen. See this right here? This is the danger line. If the water drops below this level, panic sets in, desperation takes over. The moment you cross this line, it's no longer about just love, it's about your survival. Now, at first, both people are pouring into the relationship in their love, their energy and effort, and it feels really good. But unfortunately, this mug is not pouring back into either of these glasses. This relationship is not available for them. And here's the difference between these 2 glasses. One of them can handle this and the other cannot. This person is running out of love and they're getting dangerously close to this line. And if they keep doing it, now this is what it feels like to keep giving love when you don't have enough for yourself. Once your waterline drops below this line, you're not just giving anymore, you're fighting to survive. The mug still has the water, but it's not pouring back. And now there's nothing left to give. And instead of leaving, they do what so many of us do. They sit here waiting, hoping to be refilled. And this is where fear kicks in. Well, what if I leave and I never find love again? What if I just need to be a little bit more patient? Maybe if I give a little bit more, they'll finally see my worth and they'll pour back into me. But this person, they don't need the mug to pour back into them because they're already full. And because they're already full and not blinded by survival like this person, they can see the truth that this relationship is not giving back to them. And so they can walk away. No begging, no chasing, no waiting. Just walking away because they don't need to stay hoping that they can get what they actually need. But past me, I stayed, desperate for something that was never actually coming to me. I didn't have enough to survive on my own, so I clung to the hope that one day this relationship would finally pour back into me. But this is what changed my life. When you stop needing the relationship to make you whole, you stop waiting for someone to save you. You see, most people don't realize that they're showing up like this. They're showing up to love already half empty, already needing something from the relationship just to feel okay and get above that danger line. But love isn't meant to fix you. And once you understand this, once you start to fill your own cup, you'll finally break free from the cycle of failed love, exactly like I did. Because the truth is, the moment you don't need love to survive, you'll stop settling for love that makes you suffer. The reason I kept failing at love was not because I wasn't lovable. It was because I was abandoning and rejecting myself long before anyone else did. The people I attracted weren't choosing me because I wasn't choosing myself. I avoided my feelings to chase after somebody's approval, which I was completely unaware of. I neglected my own needs. I felt they weren't important and I could handle going with less. So I abandoned myself habitually while desperately hoping someone else wouldn't do the same. And here's the harsh reality. People don't treat you how you want to be treated. They treat you how you treat yourself. And once I saw that, I could not unsee it. The true golden rule is treat yourself like you want others to treat you. The moment I learned how to stop habitually abandoning myself, everything changed. I stopped waiting for somebody else to choose me, and I started choosing myself in micro decisions throughout my day. I became emotionally available to myself, which actually changed who I was attracted to. I actually started to listen to my needs instead of pushing them aside for the sake of others' approval, which brought me tremendous relief to the panic I was in. I stopped seeking desperately love and people who only gave me crumbs, which actually filled my cup and allowed me to see the world more clearly rather than through a perceptual bias of abandonment. And you know what happened? I stopped chasing. I stopped overgiving. I stopped settling. And something completely unexpected happened. I started attracting people into my life who actually valued me, who actually were there for me. Because when you stop abandoning yourself, the world stops abandoning you too. And so how can you do this in your own life? Well, the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself, in what ways have I been neglecting myself? Now, you aren't here to judge or criticize or harass yourself for doing this. You didn't know any better back then, and you were actually trying to protect yourself. Now, if somebody asks you to do something, do you automatically say yes when doing so is a no for you? It means you can't rest or you can't take care of what you need to do. Do you worry about what someone else will think of you and make choices based on what they'll think of you? Do you assume someone will leave you or reject you if you do what you need to? If so, these are subtle ways you're rejecting and abandoning yourself. Becoming aware of them is the first step to escaping the failed love loop. Now, the second question I want you to ask yourself, and be gentle, where have I been waiting for someone else to love me instead of giving it to myself first? Because the truth is, the love you're searching for is the one you've been denying yourself all along. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to see your worth and start seeing it yourself, that's when everything changes. You have a new lens of how you can see the world, which allows you to see a world you didn't know existed and one that you deserve to experience. Now, over the years, I've discovered a very powerful and counterintuitive approach to attracting love. And in this video right here, I'm going to show you what that is and how you can do it. So click right here so you can avoid the years of being on the struggle bus like I did, and go ahead and take the shortcut.